Hey, what's up guys? This is Edward from Top Shelf and Rare Parts. So today we're going to do a video that's long overdue. We're going to talk about the convex Prova lenses. The Prova lenses come in either a blue face or a yellow face. Right now I've got the blue face here in front of me. I will be running a group buy here for the yellow lenses. So within the next month and a half, I'll have the yellow face lenses coming in. But first thing we should probably do is talk about the fitment before we talk about what the lenses actually do. So these lenses are going to fit the 02 to 07 WRX. They will also fit the 04 to 07 STI. These lenses will fit a model year 1999 to 2001 GC8. And if I've got, if I'm 1 year off on the model year for GC8, just know that they will fit the GC8 model. These fitments are tested, proven, and confirmed, so there's no second guessing on the fitment that I'm giving you. They will also fit the Forester SG, but if you intend on installing them on the Forester SG, you have to have the JDM power folding mirrors. They will not work on the USDM mirror housings, right? So if you're going to put them on the SG, you have to have the JDM power folding SG mirror housings. The SG mirror housings are wider than the USDM models, therefore you have to have them. So with that fitment out of the way, let's talk about what these mirrors actually do. What I have here within the OEM packaging as they come from Japan, here's what they look like out of the box. You will receive them within a bubble wrapped sheath, I guess I could call it. So we'll take that off, set that to the side. This is your packaging here, right? Nicely packaged. You can see blue face lens, the Prova emblem on there. On the back, in Japanese, you'll have some instructions on how to install. Don't worry about any of that, because within this video, I'm also going to show you how to install them, okay? So here's how they come straight out of the box, right? Fitment is also on the lens title here itself, but just to go over it again, it's going to be the GC8, GDA, and GDB chassis, as well as the Forester XG model. So set these to the side, and let's talk about what they do. Again, these lenses are either in blue face or yellow face. The cool thing about these lenses is that they are convex in nature. So what that means is that they are wide angle. So I will show you an unpackaged version of the lens. Here is a blue face lens, okay, convex lens. So when you are looking at them when they are installed, you will be able to see the next lane over to you, left or to the right. Obviously, driver's side and right-hand side. Super functional. I really can't think of another item that has as much function in it as well as aesthetic value. So not only will you be able to see the lanes to the left and to the right, the colored lens itself will auto dim lights from behind. So when lights are hit, cars behind you, when lights hit the lens, they will automatically auto dim down so that the light doesn't blind you. Same purpose if you have the Rearview Lens installed, it will function in the same way. Rearview Lens is also convex and will also auto dim. So within your choices, you either have blue face or yellow face. I will tell you that I went with the blue face due to the color of my STI, which is Obsidian Black Pearl. The blue is going to be more of a cool, chill color, to whereas the yellow is going to be more in your face. It's going to pop a lot more. Now, that doesn't mean that the blue lens is not going to give off that radiant, eye-catching view from behind. I tell you that it will. So I've had numerous people come up to me when they see the lenses, when they're behind me, various cars behind me, wondering why my lenses are blue. How do I get that look? You know, I've said this before and it rings true. This is a small item that gives off such a large presentation. Sometimes you don't have to install the grandiose big, most eye-catching parts to get that insight from the people who want to buy, or from the people who, you know, are intrigued by what you have. It's the small items that give off the biggest presentation. So from the rear, no matter if the car is one car behind you or two cars behind you, to the left or to the right, if they see the lens, they will instantly notice that it's blue or yellow. Okay? So convex in nature, blue face or yellow face, auto dimming feature. Those are the three things that I like to mention about these lenses, right? So let me go ahead and sit this to the side and move on to what I have on the table to complement these lenses. What I should have done before I bought these was thought about, when I get out of my car, I always close my mirrors, right? Had I thought ahead, I should have purchased what you're looking at, what you're now looking at, here in front of you. These are the Japanese domestic model passenger side as well as driver side mirrors. These are heated as well as power auto folding. So if you intend on installing the convex lenses, I would recommend that you look into buying a set of these ahead of time if you like to have the power folding option. Once these are installed, and they are plug and play, you will need to have the center controlled button that comes along with these. Typically it comes with them. If you do not receive the center controlled dial with your power folding lenses, mirrors, you can always buy them after the fact on eBay. But it's a plug and play affair, and when you turn the car off, or whether you're in the car, these will power fold. A little stiff because there is a motor here, so I won't force it. They will power fold so that every time you get out of the car, you're not doing this. No big deal. If you have to do this when you get out of the car, not a big deal. But to add functionality to what you've already purchased, the power folding mirrors will power fold by themselves. Kind of cool, right? So aside from that, we've got power folding mirrors here in front of me, okay? We've got our lenses here in front of me, and we have some tools to install, which I will show you now. Very simplistic. First thing you're going to need, 3M film. Correction, 3M tape. Red 3M tape. Got to roll that. Painter's tape. Got to roll that. Flexible plastic card, whether that be your driver's license or any other flexible plastic card you might have. Do not recommend you use your credit card or any other card of value.
What is the credit card number there?
That's right. So this is what we have here in front of us is a high-class, top-shelf Walmart gas card here. I've got maybe 50 of them laying around. So use something disposable, like one of these. Heat gun. Get yourself a heat gun. We'll be using this as well. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about some do's and don'ts when installing and handling the lenses, right? Number one, there's so many. Well, there really is not that many of them, but I guess what would be the most important? The most important is don't drop them. Do not drop these lenses. These lenses are replacement glass. If you drop them, you'll be buying an entirely new set because they are left and right specific, right? So they're driver side and passenger side specific. So be careful holding them. Don't have any drinks before you install, right? Don't go monkeying around with them. Don't drop them, right? That's number one. Number two, ensure that you have on some blue nitrate gloves when handling them so you don't get your fingerprints all over the lenses, all right? That's two. Number three, do's and don'ts, do not install the lenses over the top of your OEM lens. Don't do it. If you do, you'll be coming back to me to buy another set because if you install them over your OEM lens, they will fall off. Besides the fact that they will fall off, they will also look dumb because you'll have a replacement lens on top of your OEM lens. It's not going to look clean. It's not going to look seamless. So do not install these over the top of your OEM lens. So number one, don't drop them. Number two, have on gloves handling them. Three, don't install them on top of your OEM lens. If there was a fourth do or don't, what would it be? It would be take your time. This is not a race. Have your install items on hand. Take your time. Where are we at? 4 or are we at 5?
4.
We're at 4. Number 5, install at a temperature of 50 degrees or higher. Do not install these if it's snowing outside. Don't install them, period, if it's below 50 degrees. We're in a garage right now. Perfect. Outside, 50 degrees and higher. The 3M film on the back of these lenses, once adhered to your lens housing, needs time to cure. Don't just slap them on, go out and hit the road 50 degrees or below, because they will fall off. Okay? So that's pretty much it with the do's and don'ts. Okay, so let's go to the install. Obviously, on your car, your mirrors will be affixed to the car, right? In this particular case, I've got a client who bought the power folding mirrors, so there's a perfect opportunity for me to show you how to install them with them in my hand. What you will want to notice on your mirrors is that there is a lip that runs in the circumference of the glass. That lip is what keeps your lens in place. Yes, there is some 3M type film on the back of this glass as it sits, right, from factory, and that's cool. Just as another added layer of protection to keep the glass affixed to the back of the housing, which I'll show you once I take it off. But regardless, there's a lip here to where that holds in this glass. This same lip will also hold in the replacement glass, okay? So, first thing you want to have is your heat gun. Grab your heat gun, start out with it on low, not high, okay? With your heat gun on low, you're going to want to move the heat gun around the circumference of the lens, and then even hold it in the middle a tad, okay? Do not take the heat gun and hold it in one place, right? Because the 3M film is located around the backing of the lens. So let's go ahead and do that.
How long?
Typically about, depending on how close you have your gun, I'd say about maybe 15 to 20 seconds. So, and we'll pause momentarily, because once we think we have the glue loosened, we're going to take our trusty card here and fish it in between the lip and the glass. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a shot. All right, so now that we've heated up our lens for about maybe 20 seconds, moving our heat gun around the lens, we're not holding it directly in the middle. We're going to take our card and we are going to fish it right behind the lens. Take your time and go around the inner side of the lip until, it's okay if the mirror moves. You hold it with your thumb. We're going to take it, and you see that, guys? Already in there, just like that. And the card's flexible. What we're going to do is we're going to run it around and fish it and run it, lifting up a little bit and run it. If it comes out, it's no big deal. We're going to fish it. See that? See how our lens has already popped out slightly? Okay, we're going to keep doing that. If your lens has not popped out after you've heated it a bit, go ahead and take your heat gun and you can go back over the lens a little bit more, just like that. Be careful not to melt the plastic lip. You need that. So our card's underneath, and at this point we can try to unloosen the glue that's holding it on. Do you see how our lens is now popped straight out? Just like that. Take your time. It's not a race. Fish your lens, and at this point we can take our card out, sit it to the side, take your hand, run the edge of the glass, and just start to work it until it comes off. And here you see where the stock tape is located. And now you have a better view of the lip that I was talking about that holds the lens in. See how deep that lip is? And notice we did not melt our lip. We still have it. Okay? Do not throw these away. Hold on to your OEM lenses in case sometime in the future you want to reinstall them. You reinstall them the same way that we're going to install the new ones. Supplement with new 3M tape, heap of tape, and you will slot them back in the same way we pulled them out. But we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves. But mission accomplished, our lens is out. Okay, so now we've got our lens out, and this is what it looks like. All right, you've got your base, your motorized base for when you power it left and right, and we have our stock 3M tape or whatever tape you'd like to call it from our OEM lens, right? So we're going to clean this because this is model year 2002, right? It's now 2019, so we're going to get all the sand, the dirt, and the old tape off our lens. So what you want to have here is some sort of a cleaning solution. I watered this down. This is some Fabuloso with a little bit of water. I'm just going to spray it down, right? So here we go. So spray it down. Okay, we're going to take our paper towel, and we're just going to clean the inside of the lens. We're going to clean the lip. How dirty that is, right? It's to be expected. So we're going to clean the blue surround. We're going to clean all of this. And, take your time, get it clean. Cleaner, the better. Because we're going to be putting our new replacement glass in here. Remember, the replacement glass is going to move along the space for when you adjust your mirrors inside the cabin. All right, guys, so we have our lens, or rather we have our housing here in front of us. The housing is clean. We took our cleaning solution as well as our paper towel and cleaned out all the spiders and dirt behind a 15-year plus dirty housing. So what you'll notice is that the 3M tape that I said that you should have, we then cut and put in the same spots as the OEM, where the OEM tape was. So best practice is to take your 3M film, cut it, take your heat gun, heat a little bit of it, and then stick it where the OEM was. So that's done. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you what the back of the Prova lens looks like. Again, holding them on the edges carefully with gloves. On the back, there's a generous amount of tape already provided. Okay, we're going to keep that tape. We're going to use it, right? So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to sit our lens back down, face up. We're going to take off the backing for our 3M off of our housing. Just so you know, I pre-peeled these out of camera because it would have taken forever for me to do it, but that's done. So now we have our tape. We are now going to take our lens and we are going to peel off the provided backing on the lens. And again, before we do this, make sure that you have the correct lens in your hands for the proper housing. Again, these lenses are left and right specific. So we're going to peel that off, sit this to the side. What we're going to do now is take our heat gun again on low, and we're going to heat up the back of this tape just a little bit. Don't go crazy with it, just a little, just enough to get it tacky. Okay? We're going to do the same thing for the tape on the housing. Okay? Now what we're going to do is, remember, do not press in the center of the glass. Press around the glass, and I'm going to show you how. We're going to take our lens, and we are going to slot it underneath. Best practice is to slot it from the bottom inside the lip. Okay? Working around left to the right, you will hear the lens pop under the lip. Don't press in the middle. Take your time. The motor lens housing face moves around. It's not a big deal. And work the lens underneath the lip of the housing. And you will be able to see that the lens is under the lip. And that's it. That's all it's to it. We've got our 3M film generously supplied behind it, as well as in the stock location. We heated up the tape. We put the lens in. The lens is affixed. What you want to do now is let the tape cure. At this point, you can start to press with even pressure. You don't have to gorilla these things in, okay? Take your time, as I've shown you. Pressing with your thumb along the bottom, working your way around the perimeter. Just like that. So we're done. That's it. As you can see, we have them in here where they're supposed to be perfectly. There's a bit of 3M, or rather painter's tape along the case of my lens. It's not touching my lens. Just let it sit for a bit. I did this on the first install on mine because before I moved into this house, I didn't have a garage. So when the mirrors were on, I wanted to make sure they weren't going to fall off, and they didn't. But that's why this tape is on here. So if you have it, use it. So that's it. That's it. I promise you, once you put these on the car, from everybody I've sold them to, you're never going to go back. It's going to be a whole nother viewing experience. Whether you do track events, daily drive, this is it. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. So Top Shelf and Rare Parts, Facebook page, Top Shelf and Rare Parts Instagram page. Go to either one. Send me an email at topshelfandrareparts@gmail.com, and we'll do this again sometime. All right? And subscribe.